This is our new Steve Callari Custom Knives chef's knife. I say our because I bought this for my wife for our anniversary a little while ago. Well, actually, beginning of July. And it just came to me and I just received it, and it is stunning. And the reason I got this knife is because I have two other Steve Callari Custom Knives. These are my daily drivers. These are absolute gems. I just flitzed them. This is his awesome design for a paring knife. Gives you great hand-filling handle here and an awesome blade. Super thin steel, both of these. I think they're 8760 steel, high carbon steel, and they patina a lot. And sometimes the wife and daughters aren't paying as much attention to steel as I am, and they might wash them, or maybe they don't, and they start to rust and they patina, and they just don't like it. So I decided to get a AEB-L version just for my wife and then my daughters when they need and want to use it. Man, it is beautiful. Look at that shape. Look at that blade shape. That is gorgeous. I asked for something somewhat feminine, and here, well, I'll show you that. Oh God, it's really beautiful lavender G10 spacers there, and then a very thin black G10 spacer, and then this gorgeous Westinghouse, I don't know if it's Westinghouse, but this gorgeous old micarta, antique micarta. This reminds me of something in my grandma and grandpa's house in back in the day, Rockland County, New York. Something had this texture, and now I don't know what it is. But micarta, there was a lot of micarta back in the day, in the 40s and 50s, and it was used everywhere before it became the best knife handle. So beautiful brass pins. It just has a classic look to it, and that hint of femininity, or at least that hint of that soft color, I guess I should say, is very, very nice. This AEB-L, of course, is stainless, and a tough stainless at that, so good for the kitchen. Oh, you can see how this is magnetized. But you can see also that it's a thicker blade stock than this. Something about this will be interesting to contrast these two knives. Something I love about this knife, which by the way I broke the tip off of, so you know it's mine and you know I love it. But with this knife, when it goes dull, you hardly know it because you can still cut with it. You can even cut stuff like tomatoes with this when it's dull. Or, well, maybe yeah, you can. But what I cut onions the most, onions and other allium, like garlic, and this, you would never know it's dull with something like that. I just dropped it up. It's very nice and sharp. I just flitzed it. It's ready for another month or two without being polished. I like to polish it up every once in a while, and it's still, you still see some of the history of the food in there, and there's quite a bit. But I like to take it back down every once in a while. This thing is beautiful. Has not been, I just showed it to my wife and she loves it and can't wait to use it. And it hasn't been used yet. So I'm just gonna show this and then we're gonna do something with it. But actually, since I have this here, let me cut some paper. Let me show you how sharp this is. Julienne some paper. This one I need to sharpen a little bit. This one probably gets, well, this one gets a lot of use. This one also gets a lot of use. These knives are so good. I gotta say, you got to check out a Steve Callari Custom Knife. First of all, also I want to contrast like how much better his grinding has gotten from here to here. This is an incredibly ground knife. He started with extremely thin steel. What is that? 1/16 of an inch, and then with this amazing flat grind. It's perfect. I mean, when you run your hand across it, it's really, really perfectly done. But you look at this, and it's not only perfectly done, but it's beautiful. with the grind lines. They're all uniform. They're all, and they kind of go in that slanted direction. You know, good diagonal movement, you know, as if it were a painting. Good diagonal movement keeps your eyes moving, but it's so thin. Man, I can't wait to use this. But she's got to get the first cuts with this one. So, but I love, just looking at this, I love the blade shape so much, and I find that blade shapes are easier to gauge when you turn them upside down. Yeah, that is beautiful. It's almost clip pointish. I know it's not a clip point, but I love this, almost like a broke back sax a little bit, whatever. It's just a beautiful blade shape, and it's going to do great. And it's a little bit smaller for my wife's hands. You know, here, this pinch point, and it's more contoured, and the handle feels great. This is going to be so good. All right, you got to check out Steve Callari Custom Knives. As I said, you can find him on Instagram, and he used to review knives, and he's done a lot of, as Super Steel Steve, and he does a lot with steels in terms of performance testing them, and but also testing heat treats and all that. He is very, and all that important stuff. He is very, very meticulous with the science stuff around knife making. You know me, I'm always like, it's pretty and it cuts good, and but you know, he knows how to make it so, and this is proven in the kitchen. I forgot to mention he is a former chef, and I believe he's still, I don't know, he's probably full-time now with knives, so that he's not doing any of the management stuff, but I know he's managed restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So there's a guy who knows, and then he has his knives tested in the kitchens with the maniacs he's worked with. I'm joking, but I've worked in a few kitchens, and those kitchens were full of maniacs. So maniacs with knives. Beautiful, beautiful knife. All right, thanks for watching.